Welcome, everyone, and welcome to Progressive Discussions along with Red Pill Man Cave afterwards. I'm your host, James P. Madonna, and it is Sunday afternoon, and it happens to be, I'd say, believe it or not, it's this coming week will be the end of the merry month of May 2023. Time flies. And I just want to welcome everyone to the show. I've been doing the show since 2007. I started with the man who invented the name Progressive Discussions, my original co-host and mentor, and the managing editor of the newsletter called Censored, the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman, may he rest in peace. I started with him. And all the shows are in a special archived playlist, more than one playlist, on this YouTube channel. Plus all the readings from his newsletter, his past newsletter, done by the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman himself. Brilliant man, absolutely brilliant man. Hey, the one and only Alex, the beer master, the man that does a special beer and food show on Friday nights, and he has Alex and Friends Thursday night. How are you, sir? Happy Feliz Domingo to you. Happy Sunday. Yeah, we haven't spoken in a while. The first part of the show, I discuss serious topics, and then sometime between 4 p.m. and 4:30 p.m., that's when I loosen my belt, I relax, and we do Red Pill Man Cave, which anything goes. People can discuss anything they want. They can do craft beer reviews. They can do liquor reviews. They can do food reviews. They can talk about romance, love life, lack of love life. Um, it's like the equivalent of casual Friday to office people. So I'm going to start. Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to start. Let's see. I usually start off light and then progressively get more serious. Um, all right. This is light subject. Oh God. Could they make the font any smaller? Oh geez. Well, what I'm going to do is I'll show the pictures and just give you an update on this subject here. True that, James. True that, my friend. And also, I looked up the COVID-19 Wikipedia, and it says it's over the pandemic, and I'm happy. Well, I'm not allowed to talk about vaccines and pandemics because YouTube removed my show from last week. So I can't talk about it, but there is a new variant out there. You know, viruses mutate anyway. That's what they do. There's a new variant, and they're recommending a new booster. So, I mean, personally, I received 5 vaccines already. So that's totally up to the individual. Okay, now this one. Screen share, screen share, screen share, screen share. There we go. Well, let me see if I could just make it bigger. Let's see how that looks. One shot. One shot. No. Okay, that's good enough. What we have here is NASA's X-59 supersonic passenger aircraft will make its maiden flight before the end of 2023. I don't know if you keep abreast of the latest science and technological updates, but I do, and military planes are advancing at a rapid pace, just like computers and artificial intelligence. Science in general, whether it be for the good of mankind or to the detriment of mankind, is advancing at a very rapid pace. This year's laptop or tablet or a PC will become obsolete next year. That's how fast it's advancing. Same thing with smartphones. But anyway, here's a photo of, well, it's the technology. It's not the final product that will accommodate passengers in a cabin. They're testing out the science of it, and there it is, without the cabin. Very futuristic. All right. Here's a closer look without the cabin. Needle nose. All right. It's very aerodynamic in shape, but it will go 300. Wait a minute. It accelerates extremely fast. It'll go 300 to 500 kilometers per hour, more than the speed of sound. NASA is working with Lockheed Martin, aircraft manufacturer, very famous. The aircraft received the F414 GE100 engine in late fall 2022. The propulsion system is designed by General Electric, wow, and underwent a series of tests last year. And there it is in flight. Good, very good looking plane, but this is without the cabin yet. All right, for passengers. So that's it. That's it for this one. I start off light, and then work my way to the next. Let me catch up with Alex, the beer master. True that, James. True that. I didn't know that they shut your video down. Sorry about that. Appreciate you. Okay, I want to show you. I'm drinking right now. I'm drinking ice water because I want to save the Brooklyn Brewery lager beer for later, for Red Pill Man Cave. And I have my, you probably saw it on the internet, my new Moscow Mule 100% pure copper mug. Okay, it's got that hammered look and a very stylish handle. It's 16 ounces, and it's been known to maintain the icy cold temperature of beverages. Okay, it's I can feel it. It's ice cold, and it's attractive, of course. And copper also has an ancient health value that goes back to Indian Ayurvedic medicine. A famous yogi was explaining that when you keep any beverage, cold beverage, not hot beverage, because then you burn your mouth, burn your lips. When you keep any liquid in here, the molecules in the water of the beverage become supercharged. So whatever you're drinking becomes a very special health drink for your body, for everything. So it's not just for the cocktail called Moscow Mule, which I believe is vodka and ginger beer. Ah, beautiful. I'm very happy with it. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, let's get on to the next. All right. Of course, they're going to make me do this again. Go through the process of doing a share screen. I mean, they couldn't arrange it so I can have it on the side, right? That would make more sense. World near positive tipping point on climate solutions by expert. Positive tipping point. Let me see. There's wind generators. All right. Some say they're eyesores, they're unsightly. Others say they're a harm to birds. But you know, birds, like all animals, they learn their lesson once and then they avoid it. So birds are not stupid creatures. They will not continue to fly into the blades and die. Uh, with climate-enhanced droughts, heat waves, and fires ravaging 3 continents and the threat of a new surge in global warming, the world urgently needs to ramp up solutions for slashing carbon pollution. But which solutions are most critical? Um, the organization Project Drawdown has detailed the potential feasibility and costs of nearly 100 climate solutions since it was set up in 2017. Executive Director Jonathan Foley, a leading climate scientist, spoke to AFP about how to assess and prioritize the actions needed to keep Earth livable. The following interview has been edited for length and flow. Well, we're all aware there's the Green New Deal does create or will create a lot of jobs, a lot of good jobs. You have solar power, you have wind, you have hydroelectric, like, for instance, uh, um, connecting it to a waterfall, or a rapidly running river that's constantly moving fast. You have there's also hydroelectric buoys that, as they bob up and down the, uh, the choppiness of the ocean. When the ocean gets rough and they bob up and down, produce electricity. There's definitely, and by the way, the solar panels are not the cheap panels that we had at the beginning that take up a lot of space. I even saw these solar towers invented by German scientists. So the science of producing electricity is advancing. Fossil fuels are, for the most part, responsible for climate change and global warming, pulling CO2 out of the air. Also, the destruction of rainforests, like the one in the Amazon, is responsible for the climate change because trees and plants are the lungs of the planet Earth, and the rainforest is literally the lungs of the planet Earth. So, without boring you with the mumbo jumbo, let's see, what do we have here? Solar turbines. Wow. I'm telling you, science is wonderful. You can't beat science. Science keeps on moving ahead. Can't beat it. Just like George Costanza on Seinfeld said, can't beat science. Can't beat it. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next. And the next could be, okay. Speaking of climate change, might as well go here. Bear with me. What is this crap? No. Ain't gonna happen, brother. Ain't gonna happen. They're forcing me to enter my email so they could bother me. No. Ain't gonna happen. Let me try to get in again. I ain't doing shit. Axios, yeah. Axios, my balls. All right, let's try it again. I hate it when they do a bait and switch and they won't allow you to read the article unless you subscribe to their online publication. All right, there we go. Hot summer ahead. Speak of the devil. Hot summer ahead for much of the United States. Oh, that's not good. Seasonal temperature outlook. Yikes! Look at the American Southwest. Look at the Sun Belt going into the southern states, into Florida. Oh, look at me. Look at poor me up in New Jersey, and Alex. As you can see the color. You know, even the southern part of Alaska is going to be hit with a heat wave, which will be, I don't know if you can see my cursor, will be this color, not the yellowish color, but the pale orange. And then you have it goes to orange, and then you have some parts of the American Southwest in the desert area, you have reddish orange, and that's really super hot. Gee. Seasonal temperature outlook valid June through July through August. So June through August 2023. This is issued May 18th, 2023. Okay, so you got the progression of the colors from light yellow as it gets darker into orange into red, leaning above, likely above, below normal. Okay, going from white into blue, progressively getting darker and going into black. Okay, so well, anyway. Now get ready, folks. My suggestion is to do what I did. Go to Walmart and get the right size, of course. They call them room darkening curtains. Or they might call them room blackening curtains, but they're darkening curtains. And put them up, darken that apartment. Let me tell you, it will take the strain off the air conditioner and drop the temperature in your home or apartment. And it is always better to get a more powerful air conditioner than to get 2 or 3 small, cheaper ones. 2 or 3 5,000, 6,000 BTUs will use more energy and give you a higher electric bill than having one high BTU, like let's say 12,000 BTUs, much more efficient. And the new air conditioners are very energy efficient, and they are, for the same BTUs, they are smaller than they used to be. They're not these huge monstrosities anymore. Okay. Then you have hot summers in the dry areas of the United States, leading to drought and destructive wildfires, like the West Coast gets. For example, this means a hotter than average summer in Phoenix now is far warmer than a hotter than average summer in a typical year during the 1970s. So hopefully, well, NOAA Weather is a very reputable organization, NOAA. So Mr. Gabriel Salias outside of Phoenix, Arizona. Take my recommendations. I know you don't like to wear hats. Go get yourself a nice Western hat. Keep the sun off your head and off your face. Even though he claims he doesn't like hats. Let me catch up on a little. Hey, Geordie from Scotland, performing artist. I am very good. You know how I at the beginning I get through the serious topics, and then we go to Red Pill Man Cave and everything is fun. Thank you. Oh, you leaving the house? Okay. What, you have a date, or you're with one of your buddies to hang out with? I got my new 100% pure copper Moscow Mule mug, Jordy. It's great, beautiful. All right. Let me. So that's it. We're going to have a hotter summer. How wonderful. Okay. I'm gonna do a little Walmart bashing, and I'll tell. Oh no! I got the wrong. I'm sorry. I got the wrong article. Yeah. There we go. Do a little Walmart bashing. Crap. Wonderful. Well, you'll see it once I bring it up. Jordy says, just a buddy to hang out with. I wish it was a date. Well, you know what? It's better to be out, hanging out with a good close friend and have quality time at a pub or a pub restaurant than it is to be on a date where you're not enjoying it. You know, like with the wrong person, where you're spending money for nothing, you're wasting money to be with the wrong girl. You bet it's really it's not bad being out with a good friend, because you can meet women when you're out with your buddy. You know, so it's really not so terrible. All right, keep in touch. Yeah, you have a smartphone, right, Jordy? So you'll be able to send messages later, periodically. All right. Here we go with the screen share. How's the lighting in my in the official Progressive Discussion studio? It's much better. I mean, the lighting I used before, there was too much glare. I mean, just the glare was like hitting my head and my face, and it just didn't look so great. Now the video quality is much better. Okay. Walmart, which is owned by the Walton family, is trying to act generous, showing how nice they are. Look what they did. They're selling this a barn style. Yeah, right. Wonderful. Walmart is selling a barn, and look what it says at the beginning. Good story. Walmart is selling a barn-style tiny home for $9,270. It comes with a second floor and arrives in just 7 days. Yeah, this is the second floor. You know how hot it would be on the second floor? Look at that. It's like an attic apartment, attic rooms. You'll die up there. Who wants to live in a large shed or a barn like house? Who wants to live in a fucking barn? Would any member of the Walton family that owns Walmart live in a damn barn converted into a house? Okay, and look at the bottom. Look, all the wild critters will make their home under this cheap barn-like house. Look, you see the openings on the side? And what is this supposed to be? Barn door? Unbelievable. Walmart shoppers have discovered a tiny barn-style home for a bargain. Yeah, well, it's not even worth that. $9,270, which even boasts, a second floor loft. The retail chain said the stylish timber house will be delivered to your door in just 7 days. Timber, you know what that means? If you live in a part of the country where there's a drought, say goodbye to your little $10,000 Walmart house. Say adios to it. You should have a metal roof if you have a house in any of those drought areas. So the flying embers from the burning trees, if they land on your house, they won't set it on fire. The Arlington 12 by 20 woodshed kit. What is it? What is this? A chicken coop that they want people, low-income people to live in? Scumbag Walton family? The woodshed kit. So the whole family will be taken to the woodshed. Okay. Provides plenty of room. Yeah, plenty of room for who? For your storage needs with its second floor loft and 4 by 6 foot headroom. 4 by 6 foot headroom. That's like walking down into the cabin of a boat. 6 foot headroom. According to Walmart's online description, the first floor has high side walls and offers buyers plenty of room to add shelving or a significant amount of more storage area added Walmart. If there's a hurricane or a tornado, this house would be an instant projectile into the atmosphere. You know what? I can't read anymore. All I have to know that Walmart once again is inducted into the Chiselers Hall of Shame. Shame, shame, shame on you, Walmart. A glorified chicken coop for people on a budget that can only spend $10,000 on a home. Not their dream home, but unbelievable. Now I'm going to show you I'm going to show you a low cost budget house that looks nice. Okay, so shame on you, Walmart. Right? Okay, now you see a pretty house, small, low budget house. I think it is, and it's modern looking too. Yeah, I mean this new lighting I have is even easier on my eyes. Okay. I'm gonna have to enlarge this a bit. All right, let's see how it is now. Let me try it again. How is it now? A little better. Now, isn't that a nicer, low budget home? Let me see what it says about it. Simple life at the tiny farmhouse. 8.5 millimeter by 10. I mean meters rather. 8.5 meters by 10 meters. Okay, it must be in Florida somewhere. Who knows? Or Louisiana. You never know. This guy see palm trees. Look at that. Then you get a nice porch. The critters can't crawl underneath it and make their home. You have decent full-size windows, full-size door, sliding glass door. Yeah, normal doors. And look at the second floor. Look at, isn't this nice? Isn't this very stylish? They call it a farmhouse, but it's very stylish. And I really love that porch. This is really nice. Okay, Walmart, your Walton family is so damn wealthy, they can't offer a decent place to live for low income people and people on a budget. No, they got to offer them a fucking barn, a shed, instead of a nice looking home like this. Unbelievable. Oh, here's another shot of it from above going downward. Okay. Oh, here's a side shot of the porch. Now that's pretty. Now that is a livable, a low budget home. I wouldn't even say it looks low budget. Wow. I don't. You know what? I don't even think this is low budget. Look at the size of these rooms. Let me see if there's a price. Modern Valley. There's got to be a price somewhere. Bathroom, bedroom. Here's the drawing, the size of everything. There's living area, one bedroom, master bedroom, porch, dining area, kitchen. Something called a law, L-A-U. Maybe it's a Polynesian word. Very nice. This is 1,000 millimeters. The front and the back, 1,000 millimeters wide. 6,000, about 6,000 millimeters on the side. The porch is 2,500 millimeters in width. Very nice. Overall length, 8,500 millimeters. Let me see if there is a price. Of course, not counting the land, real estate. Let me see if there's a, maybe I missed it. It is modern. It is very pleasing to the eyeballs. I like it. I like it. Let's see how much it is. Well, nevertheless, It's a hell of a lot better than living in a damn tool shed in a barn offered by Walmart. Shame on you, Walmart. Chiseler's Hall of Shame. Hey, unbelievable. The wealthier most people get, the more of a scumbag they become. Okay, let's see. Debt ceiling. Yeah. A little politics from Politico. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Bear with me. While I go through the screen sharing. What happened? There we go. All right. Enlarge it a bit. Biden ratchets up the pressure as the debt ceiling fight strains his presidency. Well, the only reason why it's straining his presidency is because all the imbeciles out there in America, the idiotic American voters voted in a Republican House of Representatives, so they're bucking heads with everyone else. That's why. The White House believes it can build consensus and be rewarded for it, but with the economy on the line, it's not looking like a sure thing. Now, Biden better stop trying to make friends with the enemy and this hipster bipartisanship compromise pipe dream is bullshit. I love you, you love me, Barney the dinosaur way of thinking is not going to happen. You can't negotiate and reason with the forces of evil, the enemy, the capitalist enemy. The nation stands on the principle of an unprecedented financial calamity, testing whether the president's theory of governance can continue to work. You know what? This is like if a baseball team loses in the playoffs, loses like the seventh game in the postseason, they automatically want to fire the manager. They put all the blame on the manager, not realizing that it's the players that are out there fielding. It's the players that are going to bat. You know, you could have a fantastic manager and a team that doesn't do its job that well. Overrated, overpaid. Well, many congressmen and senators are overrated and overpaid. I'm talking about the do-nothings. President Joe Biden has prioritized deal-making through much of the debt ceiling talks, laboring to work across the aisle. Here we go again. Working across the aisle. Bipartisan bullshit. Even at the risk of alienating the liberal wing of his own party. I didn't know there was a liberal wing in the Democratic Party anymore. I thought they were all moderates. They're all corporatists. They're all establishment. Yeah, he's still trying to negotiate. See, Biden. See, same bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. He's called on Republicans to move from their extreme positions. Fat chance, yeah. Don't hold your breath, because much of what they propose is simply, quite frankly, unacceptable. Oh, how what a pleasant, um, um, nice sounding, carefully chosen words that he's having for greedy, selfish, corrupt, evil people. See, this is the way an establishment moderate Democrat that wants bipartisanship. This is the way they speak. Nancy Pelosi, when she was in her prime, she used to constantly say the word bipartisan, bipartisan this, bipartisan that. It made me sick. I can't read anymore. I can't read anymore. This is really pissing me off. Oh, excuse me. While I hydrate. Okay, let me get on to the next. We're winding down. Bipartisan my balls. Okay. Let me check something out here. Oh, I can't read this. Look how small the font is. Are they serious? Let me see. Mm. All right. I'll just get through this quick. U.S. introduces Citizenship Act 2023 to eliminate country quota from green cards. That means only so many people from this country can enter the United States to live, so many people from that country. U.S. Citizenship Act 2023 enables individuals who have lived in the United States for years, and in some cases for decades, like the parents of the Dreamers, to keep their family together lawfully and earn the security and stability of U.S. citizenship. I'm 100% for that. That's only fair. The ruling Democratic Party in the U.S. has introduced a Citizenship Act which will eliminate the country quota for green cards and make changes in the much sought after H-1B visa system. The U.S. Citizenship Act includes three key pillars: responsible and effective border management, economic growth, and strengthened labor force and family reunification. The bill enables individuals who have lived in the United States for years, and in some cases for decades, decades, to keep their family together lawfully and earn the security and stability of U.S. citizenship. The bill establishes a roadmap to citizenship for undocumented non-citizens by allowing them to apply for temporary legal status, lawful prospective immigrant status, with the opportunity to apply for lawful permanent residence green card after 5 years. Yeah, that's the law. 5 years. If they pass criminal and national security background checks, and pay taxes. Yeah, have the fucking wealthy Americans and corporations pay their fair share in taxes instead of trying to squeeze it out of the little guy. Dreamers, okay, like I mentioned before, recipients of temporary protected status, and agricultural workers who meet specific requirements will be immediately eligible for green cards. Eligible spouses and children are included. Oh. The bill creates a new definition of spouse to include permanent partners and eliminates discrimination against LGBTQ families by permitting citizens and permanent residents in binational same-sex relationships to sponsor their permanent partners for immigration to the United States and to serve as qualifying relatives for other immigration benefits and purposes. The bill also extends automatic citizenship to children with at least one U.S. citizen parent, regardless of the biological relationship to that parent, protects orphans, widows, and children, and provides equal treatment to stepchildren. Okay. Let's see. Well, the immigration system was very broken. Thanks to Republicans, they don't want immigration of color from south of the border, but they'll welcome your Caucasian European immigrants with open arms. Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries emphasized the role of immigrants in the making of America as he called for an immigration law overhaul. Yeah, I like Hakeem Jeffries. Very good. Let me see what else we got here. All right, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. We are moving on very well, very rapidly. Okay. Now, this is a situation here that, people, I'll give you my take on it. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Okay. Upstate New York counties declare state of emergency. Well, the same thing's happening in New York City with the mayor, Eric Adams. They were all up and on. Now what? It's raining. No. Flood insurance. Why would I get flood insurance if I... Okay, here we go. A state of emergency has been declared in a number of more counties in the Hudson Valley. Last week, Orange and Rockland counties each declared a state of emergency over New York City's migrant relocation plan. State of emergency declared in Orange and Rockland counties. Okay, this has to do with the placement of new immigrants from the south crossing the border up north here into hotels Migrants were bused to a hotel in Newburgh, New York, days after Orange County declared its state of emergency. The state of emergency in Orange County was extended this week. Okay, I would play the video, but StreamYard, the StreamYard microphone will not pick up the audio on from any website video. I don't understand why. You got to talk to the pencil-neck geeks that own and control StreamYard. State of declared emergency in Dutchess, Greene, and Sullivan counties. On Thursday, Dutchess, Sullivan, and Greene counties all declared a state of emergency as asylum seekers continue to arrive in New York City. We do not have the physical rooms or supporting capacity to house an influx of asylum seekers, Greene County officials said. Most rural counties like Greene are not equipped to handle an immigration influx. Transferring the responsibilities that New York City has as a sanctuary city to rural upstate counties is wrong and amounts to human trafficking. Well, yeah. Yeah. There's the bus. The Hudson Valley Post. Well, there's no room. And that's the state of emergency. But let me tell you why there's no room in these hotels up here, up north, in the Northeast. Because the fucking scumbag Republican governors down south, like Abbott, Governor Abbott of Texas, what's his name? Ron DeSantis of Florida has been guilty of this. They're sending all the migrants from over the border, immigrants of color, migrants. They're sending them all up to the Northeast United States because these Republican Southern governors know that we are very liberal up here in the Northeast of America. The states up here, New England, New York, New Jersey, are liberal. And out of spite, they're shipping them all up here. Now, why isn't the Biden administration equally distributing these newly arriving migrants? Equal distribution. I mean, they interviewed this one woman. She has a family. You know, this one woman from Venezuela, and her objective is to live in Denver, Colorado. So why are they all coming up here to the New York metropolitan and New England area? I'll tell you why. Because the scumbag Republican Southerners who are still fighting the Civil War, they know we're liberals up here, so they're doing it out of spite. That's the only logical conclusion I can come up of why they're all coming up here to the Northeast in massive numbers. There's no other logical explanation for it. Okay. You know, the Biden administration should equally distribute these people. Okay, now the last two articles have to do with artificial intelligence. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. I want to thank Mr. Geordie from Scotland and Alex the Beer Master for stopping by to say hello. I'm going to put the link to join right after I get done with these two articles. I'll put it right here in the comment section on the YouTube channel, and then I will send the link to the usual panelists that generally come on. Mike Rose warning to white-collar workers. The robots are coming for your white-collar job. Yeah, because the android robots are that sophisticated. I don't think we're going to see any artificial intelligence in the skilled trades to that degree, Rowe warned. How to find the right job amid rise in artificial intelligence. Well, he just contradicted himself then. Let's see if they go into detail. Well, they're safe from artificial intelligence for now, these skilled white-collar jobs, but artificial intelligence is advancing at a very rapid rate, just like anything else connected with computer science and technology in general. And right now, they have an android robot that can hold an intelligent conversation with a human being, along with quick-witted jokes, facial expressions, little emotion here and there, and the ability to reason and think for itself, quite intelligently. Actually, more intelligent than most humanoids. The only thing is they don't have the ability to walk and function physically as a human, not yet, but they're getting there. But the intellect is already there. So aside from aside from like food service and manufacturing and hospitality, but humans can already be, they're already on the brink of being replaced by artificial intelligence with those jobs. But when I heard the conversation between the most advanced android from a cognitive sense, an intellectual sense, the ability to think for themselves, it's not far away that your white-collar job will be replaced, and corporate America will be happier than a pig in shit to replace you and not have to pay salaries to a workforce, or deal with unions, or deal with people calling out sick and going on vacation and all this. No, they'll be happy because they're that greedy. They are that greedy. Okay. The last article. MIT scientists find something alarming about artificial intelligence. Let's see what we got here. try to fix this. Okay, bear with me for the last article for this week's progressive discussions. And then I'll start sending out links to the panelists. There we go. MIT scientists find something alarming about artificial intelligence. Story by Talker News, May 10th. Here's like a motherboard. Artificial intelligence makes harsher judgments than humans on whether rules have been broken, a new study claims. And scientists fear it might lead it to overstep the mark on punishments depending on what information it's been given. But that's when they tell us humans we are obsolete. We are obsolete when it is programmed based on the rules alone, with no human nuance. It is much harsher than when it's based on our responses. Well, there were definite human nuances with the conversation with the android. The study by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, looked at how artificial intelligence would judge perceived breaches of a code. They found the best data to program artificial intelligence with is normative, where humans have stated whether or not a post breaks a certain rule. However, many models are erroneously based on descriptive data, where people label the factual features of a post, and artificial intelligence applies the code and decides where there is a breach. For the study, dog images that could violate an apartment's rule against aggressive breeds were collected, and groups were asked to give normative and descriptive responses. The descriptive team was not told about the overarching dog policy and was asked to indicate whether 3 factual features were presented in the image or text, such as whether the dog appears aggressive. Their responses were used to craft judgments. If a user said the photo showed an aggressive dog, the policy was violated. MIT scientists find something alarming about artificial intelligence. Okay. Meanwhile, the normative group was told about the rules on aggressive dogs and asked whether it had been violated by each image and why. Continue the reading. Participants were 20% more likely to declare a code breach if they used the descriptive method versus the normative one. Okay, hold on. Bear with me. I will continue reading. I'll be right with you. I will be right with you. Okay, I will continue shortly right after this. Okay. Scaling these inaccuracies up to the real world could have serious implications. If a descriptive model is used to decide whether a person may reoffend, it may cast more severe judgments than a person and hand out higher bail amounts or longer criminal sentences. As a result, the experts have called for greater data transparency, stating if researchers know how data is gathered, then they can figure out how it can be used. Professor Marze Gassemi, oh God, head of the Healthy ML group in the Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, said, I think most artificial intelligence or machine learning researchers assume that the human judgments in data and labels are biased, but this result is saying something worse. These models are not even reproducing already biased human judgments because the data they're being trained on has a flaw. Humans would label the features of images and text differently if they knew those features would be used for a judgment. This has huge ramifications for machine learning systems and human processes. Okay, let me check. There we go. Okay. There is the link to join, people. The way to fix this is to transparently acknowledge that if we want to reproduce human judgment, we must only use data that were collected in that setting. Otherwise, we are going to end up with systems that are going to have extremely harsh moderations, much harsher than what humans would do. Humans would see nuance or make other distinction, whereas these models don't. In the study published in Science Advances, 3 more data sets were tested. The results ranged from being 8% more likely to find a rule breach when using the descriptive responses to decide a dress code breach to 20% for the aggressive dog images. Oh, okay. Lead author Aparna Balagopalan said, while we didn't explicitly test why this happens, one hypothesis is that maybe how people think about rule violations is different from how they think about descriptive data. Generally, normative decisions are more lenient. This shows that the data do really matter. It is important to match the training context to the deployment context if you are training models to detect if a rule has been violated. Next, the team wants to investigate the effects of asking experts such as lawyers and doctors to complete the data entry. Okay. The post-MIT scientists find something alarming about artificial intelligence appeared first on Talker. Okay. And that wraps up the serious section of progressive discussions. And now we officially begin the one and only Red Pill Man Cave. Red Pill Man Cave. Okay. Red Pill Man Cave. Oh, let's see what we've got here. Let's see. Okay, that's it, brother. Red Pill Man Cave. I'm gonna try an experiment. Okay. So how's everyone doing? The usual people that comment on progressive discussions and Red Pill Man Cave are not present here. They're busy doing something. They're probably out and about because the weather has been quite lovely. There's nothing like a clear, dry, sunny, relatively cool weather. I mean, it's kind of like the weather was when I was in San Diego and Baja. You know, it's just very clear and dry and breezy, not too hot. Well, it does get hot. It does get hot down there because the Sonora Desert is very close. But it does get hot down there. But I'm just saying, lately we've been having many weeks of clear, very dry weather here in the Northeast. That's why when I look at my weather app, there's always a fire spread, a flash fire spread warning, like they get in California when there's a drought. So the dryness will cause fires to start faster and spread faster. Wouldn't I mean, aside from the fact with climate change, the armadillos are working their way north up here. Wouldn't it be cool if we ended up having a desert where I am? Then I can wear my pointy Western boots and my Western hats and you know and enjoy the newfound desert thanks to climate change. I wouldn't mind it. How the hell is everybody? Well, it is Red Pill Man Cave. So anything you want to talk about, no censorship, any subject you want to bring up that you feel is important, bring it up. Let me oh, hold on. Let me send the link out to one more person. One more person. There we go. Bear with me. Hold on, let me put this up. Here's the link to join. The the people that usually join are not here. They have become jabroni jumbalonis. Oh, hold on. I need to do something that's very important to me. Excuse me. I need to do something. My opinion is very important. All right. I just want to have a moment of silence. Very sad news for the recent death of one of the greatest, a true legend in professional wrestling, a man who paved the way for so many megastars, so many imitators in the industry. And I'm talking about my favorite professional wrestler of all time, superstar Billy Graham. So I want to give a 21 bell salute with a moment of silence for the passing away of a superstar Billy Graham. May he rest in peace. Okay, rest in peace, superstar Billy Graham. I hope that was 21. If I went over, that's fine. Okay, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the panelists. There is the one and only Mick Von Raven. Mick Von Raven. Do you hear? Crap. I hear my voice. Steve Jobs, you pencil neck. If you weren't dead, I ring your neck like a Thanksgiving toiki. Apple, my balls. Apple computer. See, sometimes he has to do it more than once, and then it finally kicks in, because he has an iPhone, and iPhone just, I don't know. Even if you use Google, or Mozilla, if you use Google or Mozilla.
Hello.
It's
the sound always takes 2 tries. Oh, I'm not getting my earbuds.
Yeah,
while I get this going.
It takes 2 tries, except for that week from hell.
Just trying to get my earbuds going.
That's good. Earbuds.
There we go. Hey, how are you, James?
Good. I hope you had a good week. The weather's been dry here, clear and sunny and breezy and cool.
It's been warm and rained a little bit off and on. We had some 83 83-degree days, and we had some 58-degree days. It's
Yeah.
fluctuating.
Well, the quality of your video is outstanding, and
Compared to the pile of manure we had last time, yes.
I altered my lighting so I don't have glare hitting my face anymore.
Nice.
Yeah, I altered the lighting, and it's very relaxed. The lighting is easy on the eyeballs. I want to show you you probably saw it already on the everything is food. The 100% pure copper Moscow Mule mug.
Yes, I have one of those. I got mine from Aldi.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, see, it's
Yes.
got the hammered look. It's and you know what? Aside from maintaining the cold temperature, pure copper. And I listened to the most famous yogi guru on one of his videos. It's supercharged according to Ayurveda, Indian Ayurvedic medicine. It supercharges the molecules in the water in any beverage, and it
Wow.
turns the water into a super health drink.
Okay.
So it does something. It supercharges the molecules. So whether it be iced tea or a cocktail or just plain water with a lemon twist of lemon, whatever,
Or a Moscow Mule.
or a Moscow Mule, which I really should try. You know, I should get some ginger. It's ginger beer and
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So I do see lots of ginger beer now in the liquor store, and I'll get a small bottle of vodka because I'm really not a vodka person.
Ginger beer is high in sugar. I don't buy it much. Very high sugar.
Is it higher than, let's say, Canada Dry ginger ale?
No, they're all very similar. All sodas seem to be at least like 40 grams of sugar or 35.
Except ginger beer is probably has a higher percentage of ginger in it because it has more of a burn.
Yes.
Feel the burn, feel the burn. I remember Beavis and Butthead were in the gym working out, and I think Beavis was saying, "Feel the burn, feel the burn, feel the."
Beavis and Butthead, the good old Beavis and Butthead.
I like Beavis and Butt, even though they are quite, they are imbeciles,
Yes, they are.
but they're funny.
Yeah, they were good, and they're back. I'm surprised they made it back so quickly. People don't forget Beavis and Butthead.
When they knocked on their neighbor's door, because his young daughter, the man's young daughter, was quite attractive, so they Beavis and Butthead knocked on his door and said, "We would like to have your daughter's hand." And the man said, "Oh, isn't that nice? You two young gentlemen want to propose to my daughter, want to propose marriage." He said, "Marriage? We don't want to propose marriage. We just want her hand to whack us off." So the father got so pissed off he beat the shit out of
Beavis and Butthead.
well, the one got away and he beat the hell out of one of them. I don't know. Usually it's Beavis that gets the brunt of everything negative.
I saw a funny one where they went into some special museum and then they mistook, I don't know, a ancient artifact for a toilet.
Remember when they got jobs in an inbound call center?
I don't remember, but it sounds pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. Just picture them taking calls.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What do you want? Suicide hotline. What do you want?
And he used to tell Butthead, "Your mother's a slut."
Yes.
Oh no, it was Butthead that told Beavis.
Yes. Yes.
Mother is such a slut.
Well, speaking of mothers, last Mother's Day was another difficult one for me. I had My mom and sister on my mind. I know your Mother's Day isn't always grand these days either, James. And now we got Father's Day upcoming.
Well, we keep their spirit alive by our memories.
Exactly. It's
Uh,
it's
my fond memories of everything that me and my mom did together. You know, when I was young, she used to take me to all these. We used to go out to eat. She used to take me to these like nice Polynesian restaurants and seafood restaurants and everything. And we stayed,
nice.
and, you know, we had a lot of when she was younger and well, she didn't necessarily have to be young, but when
She was more active, yeah.
she was healthy and she was driving all over.
Yes.
We did a lot.
That's nice. My mom too, when I was I'm the youngest of four, so I got taken everywhere with my mom. Almost too much to the store. You'd lose your mind at a store when you're 5, 6 years old.
Don't forget it. Yeah. Well, once we had to take her driver's license away from her, and
Yeah, it's all over then.
you know,
Yeah,
then they start to decline because if they weren't declining, why would you have to take their driver's license away from them?
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
she says, "You're taking my independence away. I can't believe you're doing this to me. I've always drove." Right? I said, I felt so bad, but the main thing is the safety of
Yeah, you don't want them to die behind the wheel and take somebody with them.
exactly that. And you know what? I rather, like my sister says, we rather drive her to places than to have something tragic happen.
Exactly, exactly.
So, but there's fond memories, and that's what keeps them alive. Same thing with your grandparents. If you have,
Yeah, and my dear sister too. My sister was like a second mother to me when I was a
yeah,
kid, so
if you have
definitely.
fond memories from when they were healthy, regardless of how old they were, when they were 100%, and you have fond memories, that's what keeps them alive, even though they're they're in spirit somewhere else. But that's what
Yeah,
sometimes they sometimes the spirit of a loved one will come to the rescue when you're in trouble. I believe that.
next month was a big month for my family. It was my mother's birthday, my grandmother's birthday, and my birthday were all in June. The 3rd, the 23rd, and the 30th.
Happy birthday
Thank you.
to Mick Von Raven, and I did a 21 bell salute for the death of superstar Billy Graham.
Yeah.
I
You
did.
know, there was another, that name was used before. I don't know if you know that. That's the name Superstar Billy Graham. There was more than one person with that name, I believe.
I don't know. I've only known um, Dwayne. I think his real first name was Dwayne.
Well, there was another guy in that one league I was telling you about with Indiana. Um, I forget the name of the league,
Austin
but with
Idol.
Dick DeBruiser and the Crusher.
Well, there were a lot of copycats of
Yes,
Billy
yes, there
Graham.
were. I think there was another guy using a similar name. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, after the first flamboyant wrestler, flashy, flamboyant, charisma, and all that jazz. The very first one in the industry was back in the 1940s into the 50s. Gorgeous George Wagner.
Yes, yeah, gorgeous George.
Gorgeous George Wagner, and then after Gorgeous George Wagner, who had, I think he died from cirrhosis of the liver because
Ouch.
every time, every time somebody offered him a drink to buy him a drink, his buddies, he couldn't. He had a problem where he couldn't say no. He felt guilty saying no.
Wow.
So anyway, after Gorgeous George Wagner, there was Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. Okay, and the Fabulous Moolah was his valet, a young, pretty Moolah, and and then after Buddy Rogers, and then he lost to Bruno Sammartino in 1963, and then that's where Ric Flair took his gimmick, and Billy Graham took the gimmick of
Nature Boy.
Buddy Rogers. Then Ric Flair took the gimmick after Billy Graham, and Jesse Ventura and Ric Flair, because they both came from AWA Minnesota.
Okay.
They were trained by like Vern Gagne. Yeah, his people. Um, yeah, so Jesse Ventura and Ric Flair copied the gimmick of being flamboyant and wearing flashy clothes and
Arrogant, flamboyant,
blonde hair.
full of themselves.
Yeah, blonde. Now Billy Graham was into tie dye, which he wore some beautiful. I showed pictures of him, I think, to Paul Mantia, and I says, here's a guy from the past that loved tie dye, and he had these. He used to wear these long wrestling leotards that were tie dyed,
Cool.
and they were all different patterns, beautiful colors, and and then I watched Bobby. Yeah, Bobby Heenan was a wrestler and manager for AWA
I
Minnesota.
didn't know he had passed. How long did he pass away?
He passed for a while. He had
Yeah,
throat cancer.
that's a shame. I just saw a post on, R.I.P. Billy Graham, and they had Bobby Heenan there, and I didn't realize Bobby did check out.
He smokes a lot of cigars, Bobby Heenan.
He was a long time established guy for wrestling for a very long time before he passed.
He's from Chicago, Bobby Heenan. He was
Yeah,
from
rest his soul.
Chicago, and his first pay in the wrestling business, the promoter hands him like $3, and he looks at it. He says, "What the hell am I going to do with this?" $3.
$3.
That's pathetic, man. Usually they give him like $25. So you're driving, you're buying gas, you're paying tolls, or wear and tear. Because they didn't. There were territories.
Yes.
They didn't fly.
No.
So all the wrestling territories were only in that part of the country. So they drove. They carpooled it with other wrestlers, other people. A lot of them, most of them carpooled it together, and they stood in cheap motels, and when Sting,
It was a bit vaudevillesque, I'd say.
it was very vaudevillesque. When Sting and Ultimate Warrior started, when they were young, they were the Blade Runners in the South, and they were tag team. And there were times where they didn't have money for hotel. They slept in the car.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, no, I mean, Gorilla Monsoon, when he was alive, says there is no positive reason to get into professional wrestling other than the fact that you really love it. You have a passion for it, but there's no logical reason
Yeah, I bet.
to get into the industry with all the crap that goes on, that wrestlers have to go through, and the injuries and the cheap pay and no health insurance. And
Yes.
I mean, there's no reason for it. And you can't bank on, I mean, if you make it big today, you're compensated extremely well.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have like AEW, owned by a multi-billionaire. You have WWE, and you sign a contract, and they take good care of you. Now, WWE is tougher than AEW. Like, there's a lot of clauses in it. Like once you're under contract, you really can't do anything outside of
What's sanctioned?
Yeah,
by the league.
outside of wrestling for the promotion, you're not allowed to do anything.
Wow.
They pretty much own you. They own your character. They decide what entry music, entrance music you can use. They decide
Jeez.
what you're going to be called. They decide every word you say in an interview. And
That's crazy.
yeah, you. It's like
Sold your soul to them.
yeah, you're a slave to Vince McMahon, and I don't know if the owners now do the same thing. But your life, your career is not yours. Where during the territory days, and I think AEW, who is owned by the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they they're more lenient. But during the territory days, Jesse Ventura says you were responsible for your character. You chose your outfit. You chose your name. You chose the entry, the what music you were going to come in, you know, as. And a lot of times back then, you could pick a famous song as your entry music. There was no hard ass
Checking.
copyright infringement bullshit back then. Like some wrestlers, they picked a rock song that today they wouldn't be able to use.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that there's so much copyright. The league I watched, you said that was the AWA, the one in Indiana, and it was from the 70s, I think, with the
Well,
Bruiser and the Crusher.
Bruiser and Crusher was AWA, American Wrestling Association. Main headquarters was Minneapolis,
Does
Minnesota.
that still exist? AWA?
No, they went belly up.
So it's
Eventually,
AWE exists?
AWE, AEW is
AEW, I'm sorry.
that exists. That's I think the headquarters is Jacksonville because it's Tony Khan, his father, put up the money, and he owns the Jaguars.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah. AWA was primarily in the Midwest, and
That was fun.
yeah,
The
and
characters were good.
also he owned the San Francisco territory. He bought the San Francisco territory. So
Who did? The guy from Jacksonville or the AWA former owner?
AWA is Vern Gagne. So Vern Gagne,
Oh, so yes.
well, he had an extensive amateur
Career.
wrestling background. Like college wrestling, Olympics.
So when did the AWA go bankrupt? In the 80s or the late 70s?
In the
Just
80s,
a guess.
in the 80s.
Yeah, that was my area. They had some great characters. Bobo Brazil, Pepe Gomez, they all had the shtick. Bobo Brazil wasn't the greatest wrestler. He was the greatest black wrestler.
Yeah.
So that was kind of humorous
Baron
looking back.
von Groschke, and
Yeah, with the claw. I love the claw. Yes.
he's like this making the Vachons, Mad Dog Maurice, Mad Dog Vachon.
I did not see them. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah. But they're all over YouTube.
They had Pepe Gomez with the cast iron stomach, and you could hit him in the stomach, and he wouldn't feel it. Cast iron. And
everybody was there. Ivan Putski was there.
Yeah, the Crusher and the Bruiser were everyone's favorites. They were just guys that bleach blonde hair. They dyed their hair.
Well, they were Polish guys from Milwaukee, and they were big time beer drinkers.
Yes, they were Hellraisers.
And then you had Adrian Adonis with Jesse Ventura.
Excuse me.
Billy Graham was with them. Blackjack Mulligan, Blackjack Lyons. A lot of huge stars. But what they used to do, they used to trade. The territories used to trade wrestlers that got a little too familiar in one territory. Like Vince McMahon Sr., he would trade with Vern Gagne. So
Oh
AWA,
wow, just
that,
like football and basketball and stuff.
that's why you used to see Baron Von Raschke and these other guys in the WWF at the time. And what they would do is they would have you would go to a territory, you would travel, you go to a territory, you have a run for 1 month. Let's say you were a heel, the bad guy. You would feud with the babyface star, and it would be like for a month, back and forth, and then you would have a match at a big venue, a big arena, like Madison Square Garden for the WWF, and then you would leave because people get kind of tired of seeing you for a whole.
Yes.
So then you go to another territory. Then they like Stan the Man Stasiak was out of Portland, Oregon. Him and Roddy Piper were out of Portland, Oregon, and
Oh, I loved Roddy. God rest his soul.
Moondog, Maine. Yeah. So well, he was he was out of Portland, but he was also down in Los Angeles with Gene LaBelle in the Olympic Auditorium, the Los Angeles territory. But he got kicked out by like actually the Mexican fans wanted to kill him.
Wow.
Because you know what happened?
He beat
No, he did this. He's in the middle of the ring and he's apologizing to all the Mexican fans. And he says, in your honor, I want to play the Mexico's national anthem on my bagpipes. So he started to play a song, but it wasn't Mexico's national anthem. It was La Cucaracha. They wanted to kill him. They had to sneak him out of the Olympic Auditorium.
That's funny as hell.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I miss him. Nice.
It sounded good.
Sneak him through the alley.
So they had to sneak him out. I think he was stabbed one time.
Oh, that's crazy.
But anyway, then he went to Portland. That's where he met his wife. His wife is from Oregon, so he went to Portland. His wife was like a waitress in a diner or a restaurant. Roddy Piper's wife, and that's how they met. And yeah, and he ended up making Oregon
Movies.
home. He bought a farmhouse, and he stood. That was his home. He of course, he did the horror movie. What is it?
They Live.
They Live. He did They Live.
That should have catapulted him into superstardom and gave him more movies. I thought it didn't, though.
He didn't speak that much in They Live, though.
His lines were quite memorable, though.
Yeah, I'm here to kick ass. What is that? I'm here to
here to kick ass and take names, and I'm done taking names or something like that.
I don't know. Yeah, and then it was John Carpenter movie.
Yeah, really good movie.
Yeah, and then what happened was he was with the WWF and Vince Sr. Vince Sr. did not want Roddy Piper to do movies. He didn't want Jesse Ventura to do Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's stupid. He should want that. It gives him more exposure. What's wrong with him?
He didn't want Hogan to do the Rocky movie as Thunder Lips because he's probably jealous.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, but he wasn't getting a cut. He wasn't getting. That's got to be because he says that it's not good for the character they're playing in wrestling to go do a movie. The real reason is he wasn't getting a slice of the cake.
Yeah, if he did, he'd probably promote it if he did get
Yeah,
anything going.
that's what it was. And Vern Gagne was pissed at Hogan because like they don't they don't they don't want to put the belt. They don't want to keep the belt on Hogan. I think Hogan had the belt, the AWA belt, for a short period or something, and Hogan wasn't happy by the way they were treating him. So Hogan got an offer in Japan. So he went to Japan to wrestle for Antonio Inoki or Giant Baba, one of the two. It's a New Japan Pro Wrestling or the other. So Vern Gagne is pissed. Say you have to send me money because you're you belong
Under
to
contract, yeah.
me, the AWA. So that's what must have happened. He must have still been on a contract. That
So
was
did Hulk end up having to pay restitution or whatever?
no, he dodged. He dodged.
And
Dodged him.
before I forget, of course, we have to have a remembrance of the great Jim Brown, athlete, activist, God rest his soul,
Yes,
87.
Jim
He
Brown.
did some tremendous work with the inner city gangs, and a coworker said, I think everyone in the NFL should be forced as part of their regiment to go into the inner city and talk to the gangs. I like that about him. And
Well,
I,
I think if a professional athlete uh, um, finds fame and fortune, and they're from the inner city, I think they should go
go
back
back.
and
Yes.
give to the people who in which he grew up with, the people of the inner city.
Yes.
He should be charitable. If they're multimillionaires playing basketball, okay, go back to where they grew up and help out the people in the inner city. Build a
A
recreation,
youth center. Yes.
build a youth center, build the uh, what do you call food banks or what the fuck?
I saw a really good movie, Air Greatness. It's
Mhm.
about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was the first. Hello, Jeff.
Thank you for your greeting.
Michael Jordan was the first athlete to get a cut of things with his name on it, and it made a precedence for all the other athletes after that. As it should be. They're using your name, your likeness. They should give you
Yeah.
a royalty.
Well,
They
the
didn't want to.
the Chicago Bulls had Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, and Dennis Rodman at one time, right?
Yes, yes.
Dennis Rodman, I think he came from the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, when he was on the Bulls, he was tremendous. He shut down Shaq. It was awesome when Shaq was on Orlando. Oh God, he was one on one with Shaq and was on him like a cheap suit, and Shaq couldn't shake it. That's
That
when
was
we came up with the joke: if Shaq was a foot shorter, he'd be flipping burgers somewhere.
that was the dream. That was the official dream team, the Chicago Bulls.
God, they were so great.
Yeah, that's where when they had the international basketball competition, a lot of the Bulls were on the dream team, right?
I tell you, I'm one of the luckiest ones. I in my lifetime I saw Chicago Bears win the Super Bowl. I saw the Bulls win 6 championships. I saw the Blackhawks win 3 championships. I saw the White Sox win a World Series. I saw the Cubs win a World Series. One of the luckiest guys in the world here in Chicago.
I would be furious if they try to force the Blackhawks to change their uniform and take the
That's a tribute. The Blackhawk Nation has no problem. The Blackhawks have always been respectful, and it's a tribute.
so
It's
the
not a
so the Black Hawk Nation was in Illinois.
yes, and they've gotten the approval to use the name. They're not going to be called the Commanders or any other horrible name.
Yeah, the Guardians. Yeah,
Guardians, the Commanders, those are two of the worst names I've ever heard for sporting teams. I feel kind of sorry for them.
they're stupid. I mean, it's like
Yeah, not clever, not good.
yeah,
You could come up with
it's like calling your team the Rainbow Trout or the Bass or
Bob's Barn Burners.
Yeah, so the Blackhawks nation was probably in the Great Lakes region in
Yes.
that area. It might have like the Milwaukee Brewers because
Yes.
that was a beer capital.
And they're no longer in the American League. They're in the National League now, giving the Cubs fits.
Well, you know why? Because the original Milwaukee Braves were national. It was a National League team
Yes.
before they
Just
went.
like the Los Angeles Lakers used to be the Minnesota Lakers, where the lakes are. So the name changes are hilarious.
So I don't know why they kept the name
The
Lakers
U
because
the
there's no
Utah
lakes there.
Yeah, exactly. The Utah Jazz. There's no jazz in Utah.
No,
Except for when
they're Mormons. They're like
exactly.
jazz. So
New Orleans Jazz moved to
Utah
Colts. Are there any Colts actually in Indianapolis? Were they in Baltimore? I don't know. Guess so.
Colt is a baby horse. Sure, they could
Yes.
be Colts in the end. You know what was really sad and infuriating, and of course there's a little bit corporate America involved in politics. The scumbag CEO of Starbucks Coffee uh, at that time owned the Seattle Supersonic basketball team.
Yeah, they put them to rest. They fucked them over, didn't
You
they?
know what they did? He turned around and sold the Sonics to some guy from Oklahoma City and
Yeah,
Richmond,
the Thunder. The
and they
Thunder. That's another dumb name.
moved the Sonics to Oklahoma City. Now, who talks about Oklahoma City? That's a little
No
pipsqueak.
one. Yeah.
What's the population of that area? I mean, it's a
I
little.
don't know.
It's a pipsqueak. It's like saying, it's like sending them to Omaha, Nebraska. I mean,
Well, they do have the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's a small town, Columbus, in hockey. But the Columbus was an expansion. It wasn't a big team that moved there. So that's the difference. Sonics were a big team. They've been around a long time.
so Columbus is near Cleveland, right?
Whatever happened to the Washington Bullets? Remember them?
Yeah, they used to be the Baltimore Bullets, and then they went
And
to
they got their name changed to the Wizards.
they're called
Another horrible name.
Well,
Political correctness.
I wonder if yes, you're right. Howard Schultz is the piece of shit. Howard Schultz is the CEO of Starbucks Coffee. You're right, and the Detroit Red Wings. I always wondered what was the symbolism of the red wing, one wing
Isn't that a Teamsters?
on a tire, No, that's not the Teamsters. Unless it's the wait a minute, maybe it's
the auto manufacturing.
Maybe it's the auto manufacturing
Yeah, Detroit, possibly.
union. Maybe they're called the Red Wings. It's a red tire of a car with one wing on top of it. I believe Michael Jordan is a part owner of the Washington Wizards.
I think he was. I don't know if he still is, though. He might have bought into another team. I don't know. But the Wizards, I don't know. Are they even still in the league? They're just not very good. I know that.
Yeah. Now with the Baltimore Colts, the owner at that time was demanding like a lot of owners do,
Free stadiums.
A new stadium, freebie.
Yes, free stadiums.
The city of Baltimore pretty much said, I don't know, can't afford it. We don't want to build another stadium. Use the one you got. So overnight, the owner snuck the team out overnight, brought them to Indianapolis without any notice to the city.
Wow.
City of Baltimore. Yeah.
And then the Browns moved to Baltimore.
The
Cleveland Browns moved to Baltimore.
The Cleveland Browns, before they reestablished the new Browns.
The league made them vacate the name. They came up with their semi. The Ravens to me is not a great football name. I don't know why. I just don't think it is.
well, a Raven. The reason
Ravens cool, but
you know why they call the Baltimore Ravens? I think because Edgar Allan Poe is from Baltimore,
okay.
and you know he did that story about the Raven Nevermore. You know, the Raven.
There's a great song by a band called Malice called "No Haven for the Raven." That's a great song. It's a metal band from the '80s.
The most intelligent bird and one of the most intelligent animals on the face of the earth is a raven.
Crows are also highly intelligent.
They have the mentality of a 7-year-old child. Yeah, yeah, and but anyway, and they talk. By the way, they like a parrot. They could, they could talk.
Wow.
That's where they got Baltimore Raven. Otherwise, so they made them vacate the name, and then they reestablished the Cleveland Browns.
They used to call the Browns and the Indians the mistake by the lake. They used to call Cleveland the mistake by the lake.
Well, Cleveland is kind of a boring city anyway.
Yeah, but remember how Lake Erie was so polluted?
Yeah.
The mistake by the lake.
I don't know why the Rock and Roll Hall of what is it?
Of shame. It's a scam. They put artists in there that would never deserve to be in there, and the ones that do never get in. It's a big scam.
Why does it have to be by Cleveland? Because they felt sorry for Cleveland?
Oh, because Cleveland rocks. A big deal.
How does Cleveland rock? It's a rinky dink. It's a rinky dink.
They used to have the Agora Theater there, I think. A lot of used to.
You know what Guardians is? They're two statues that are part of a very old bridge in Cleveland.
Oh God!
Two giant statues that are part of a bridge.
Oh, to change the subject for a second. Oh, let's see. Yeah, they did.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes, just as you thought.
They come in the morning too, crows. I know.
One thing I don't know a lot of people aren't aware of, there's a writer's strike going on. All the late night television is not happening. Real Time has been off the air. Jimmy Kimmel, I heard, has been off. Yeah. Oh, nice, Jeff.
Shakedowns.
Yeah, so the writer's strike is preventing television from happening. They have a great power, the writers do. I wonder what they're demanding. I've not heard the demands.
So you mean writers in terms of the entertainment industry?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
gotcha.
Yeah, so right now, shows that are like live TV or even taped live, like the talk shows at night, a lot of them are taped live. But Bill Maher is actually live. They have writers and they write monologues. They write a lot of things. Yeah, Screenwriter Guilds.
That's
Yes,
heavy duty, man. That
that's
Screenwriters Guild is on strike also. That's
yeah. That is the writer's strike I'm referring to.
Screenwriters.
Yeah, screenwriters. Yeah, it sucks. I don't get any of my real time shows. It's been weeks. I hope they come to some agreement.
Yeah, not that they had the talent that they had years ago when sitcoms were funny.
Oh, when they didn't even need a laugh track because they were so funny.
Yeah, like Sanford and Son and All in the Family and all these,
The great ones.
Good Times.
Yeah.
J.J. Walker, Good Times. All the spin-offs from All in the Family.
Oh, he had like a dozen almost. He had so many spin-offs.
There was Maud. Lady Godiva was a free. I like the song. And then there's more. And then there's more. Anyway,
and Maud kind of, it didn't really spin off of it, but Golden Girls was around thanks to Maud, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
And they have not been a direct spin-off, but then for a short while with the Jeffersons, of course, moving on up.
Yeah,
to the deluxe apartment in the sky.
Now, how does what they say? Fish don't fry in the kitchen, beans don't burn on the grill. I don't understand how you can cook beans on the grill.
In a pot. You put a pot on top of a grill, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So they were all spin-offs, but they
Some did better than others.
you know why I think they changed the original Lionel on the Jefferson, because he was the writer for Good Times.
Wow.
Michael Evans. Michael Evans. That's why the father was named. His name was James Evans. That's why they were all Evans, the Evans family.
Wow.
Because Michael Evans, the original Lionel, was, I guess, writer or producer, or he had an important job with Good Times. And the reason why the father, James Evans, suddenly disappeared from the show
Roots.
is because,
He joined Roots.
well, yes. Lamar Burton was the other actor, right?
LeVar Burton. Yes, LeVar Burton. Kunta Kinte.
Yeah, he now hold on. For some reason I blurred up. Hold on. Here we go.
You're good now.
The reason why they got rid of him on Good Time is he was ruffling feathers. He wanted more more of a speaking role in the show, and he was jealous of Jimmy Walker getting a lot more speaking um, role.
I never thought Jimmy Walker was that funny. Looks aren't everything, though.
Well, you know what? He's like Jerry Lewis, Charlie Callis. I mean,
Real corny, yeah,
like,
cornball stuff, yeah.
Gary, they got laughs by making funny faces and funny noises and sounds.
Yeah.
My favorite TV character is Aunt Esther, Sanford.
I won't get you, sucker.
Yeah, he says, yeah, and her husband was an alcoholic, and Esther's husband,
Yes.
and what's his name, Leroy or something. And then I like when Fred Sanford hands Esther a sheet of cellophane, and she says, "What's this?" He says, "Hold it up to your face. That's your Halloween mask."
I remember when he said he could make gorilla cookies with her face.
Yeah, I'll press your face in dough and make gorilla cookies.
Gorilla cookies, yeah. She was really good in Shakes the Clown. She had some dirty lines in that. She was pretty funny, LaWanda Page. I have a couple of her recordings from laugh.com.
Well, she grew up with Red Fox in St. Louis, Missouri. They knew each other since they were very young, and
yeah, they played off each other really well.
And Red Fox's real name is Fred G. Sanford.
Really? That was his birth name?
That's his birth name. So LaWanda Page, who was Esther, she was LaWanda Page. But I'm saying, yeah, Fred G. Sanford was Red Fox's real name.
So did he help write that show? He helped create it, I assume, then?
And Damon Wilson, who played Lamont, Damon Wilson's real name was Grady Wilson.
Grady, so they got the name from him.
So they used They used Shady Grady Wilson. They gave him Lamont's real name.
Grady was hilarious. He was so stupid. He was real funny.
Yeah.
Gee, Fred, I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, he was funny. It's funny how that's how a lot of white America got introduced to black people, was through Red Fox.
Yeah. I guess he wanted a different first name. I guess he felt Grady wasn't a very attractive name.
J.J. Walker, yeah. J.J. Walker's career after Good Times was kind of limited to commercials and things, I think. I liked him, but...
Oh, yeah, she did have a great body.
Yeah, the little bit older one? Yeah, she was a fox.
The older girl, yeah.
Oh, total Stone Cold Fox.
and and then later they had the next door neighbor in the apartment, the
The
woman.
mixed race couple.
No. You're thinking of Jefferson. I'm talking about
Yes, I'm sorry. I am. Yeah, you're right. I'm getting them crosswired.
that's. I hear that's Lenny Kravitz's real mother,
Wow.
the woman who played the black woman who played the wife of Willis, Tom Willis, in the apartment building. That's Lenny Kravitz's real mom.
Yeah. Lenny
Amazing.
Kravitz. Wow.
Yeah, how about that? How about that? That to have a son that makes it big like that. Yeah, Rollo. Yeah, that's Lamont's friend is Rollo, and Julio next door, the Puerto Rican guy. Fred's friends was Bubba Bexley, Grady Wilson, and Skillet.
Oh, I remember they had an older fat guy was his friend, and they were pretty funny together. I
Bubba.
forget, was that Skillet or that was Bubba? Okay.
Bubba Bexley.
God, that reminds me of that show. Of course, reminds me of Chico and the Man a little bit. Chico was a little bit of a spin-off. Wasn't the Man kind of a junk guy like Fred?
No, he owned an auto repair shop.
Yeah.
Freddie Prinz was a mechanic, but Freddie Prinz lived
God, what a tragedy.
he lived in his van.
That was
Welcome Back Carter was pretty funny back then.
Yeah, they had some good sitcoms. They had Happy Days. They had a lot of good stuff on TV.
Yeah. What's that? Welcome Back Carter,
Cotter.
that uh, John Travolta. Okay, Vinnie Barbarino, and then they had the Robin Givens was the young attractive black girl who later married Mike Tyson.
Oh, and screwed him over. Yeah.
Screwed him or her and the Barracuda mother-in-law.
Remember Barney Miller? That was pretty funny with a lot of dry comedy.
Yeah, very dry. Jack Sue
Yeah, that was good.
died. Jack Sue, the Chinese detective, he died.
Yeah, a lot of them are deceased. So is Ron. I forget his name. And yeah, the black gentleman's gone. It's sad. And
Yeah,
then, of course, like WKRP in Cincinnati, many of them are gone now, too.
Red Fox. He died of a heart attack on the
From the
set.
god It was
On,
from the goddamn from the IRS dude caused him to die, I
but
believe.
he died doing the last sitcom he ever did with
Yeah,
uh, um what's her name again?
he was forced into action because the IRS, his manager didn't pay all of his taxes, and he died in with IRS debt, and it really stressed him out a lot.
Oh, like Nicolas Cage. Oh,
Oh, like Wesley Snipes, or like George Carlin had it happen to him too. A lot of people. The guy from the Allman Brothers, Butch Trucks, committed suicide. Oh, did he say? I saw something. The writers are still on strike. Oh yeah,
John Ritter died
John.
on the set.
Yeah, he was young.
Yeah, Tex Ritter was his father, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, Red Fox was sitting in a chair, and this famous singer, I'm trying to remember her name, wasn't Aretha Franklin. She found him. She thought he was just resting, and
yeah, that's a
it
shame.
was on the set. It was on the set. Um,
They didn't know John Ritter had a heart defect, just like they didn't know Joe Strummer had one also,
well,
and they both died unexpectedly.
the genius, the genius. Um, what the hell is his name? I thought he was a genius, way ahead of his time. Um, Oh.
Is he a jazz player or who's the
No, no, no.
genius?
It'll come to me. I just got like
Okay.
I got a brain fart, you know.
It happens to me too. Trust me, I know what you're talking about.
Um, oh,
But yeah, some of the great ones have died with their boots on, so to speak. On the set, John Candy, he died on the set.
the-
Peter Sellers died because he forced himself to shoot a movie when he was in ill health, and he ended up dying shortly after. It was a bad movie
yeah,
too.
Sam Kinison,
Oh God, that was tragic with him.
what's the guy from Saturday Night Live, the other chubby guy,
Oh yeah, oh Chris Farley, God rest his
Farley.
soul. John Belushi, God, the list goes on.
Um,
Tragic, tragic stuff. It was Gilda Radner's birthday recently. God bless her soul. She was
yeah,
so funny.
she had cancer when cancer treatment was kind of archaic.
Yeah, in the 80s. Yeah, and she married Gene Wilder, and they at least they had a few fleeting
Yeah.
moments together before she passed.
Rod Serling of the Twilight.
Oh yes, Rod Serling was a genius,
Yeah,
except when it came to his own health.
his ticker.
He smoked so much.
He was the chain smoker.
Oh, that was his death. He wrote a lot of those shows, I heard.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, he was a genius.
after the Twilight Zone, he
Night Gallery. Yeah, that
Night
was
Gallery.
equally creepy.
He participated in Night Gallery. Yeah, yeah, and but
Did he die shortly after Night Gallery, I believe?
I don't know. But he didn't make personal appearance on Night Gallery like he did on Twilight Zone. Like
He
he didn't.
did actually. He introduced things. He did.
Yeah, because I know Twilight Zone. He would give like the lesson learned from the
Epilogues, kind of, right?
epilogues. Yeah, like the way Jerry Springer used to do with his episodes at the end. He would give like
If he wasn't filmed in Night Gallery, he was recorded at least. I don't recall, but he did have some interplay in Night Gallery, maybe just verbally.
yeah, Night Gallery was actually good, and then there
Real
were,
creepy.
and then after that, I don't know if it was a spin-off with other writers, but there was Tales from the Dark Side. Tales from the Dark Side. Um, um, all all the TV moms, I thought that Marion Ross of Happy Days was because she's a redhead. She's a ginger. That's why. I think Fonzie had a crush on Mrs. C.
Well,
Yeah,
we know Greg liked Mrs. Brady. We knew that.
well, they had an affair. You mean Greg?
Oh, he did? I never heard that
No,
one.
no, they
Florence Henderson and Barry.
Oh yeah.
She took the younger Wick on.
Yeah, the
Well,
young.
that's because her husband and their Rex, whatever his name was, he was, not interested in female tail.
Oh,
What was
they had a Hollywood marriage.
no, they had a fake marriage in
That's
the
what
Brady's, but in real life he was a
like-
homosexual.
it's like Rock Hudson had a fake marriage.
Yes.
Merv Griffin, he used to do that all the time. Ooh.
Vincent Price and had a arranged marriage. Him and his wife were both gay. They had gay lovers. A lot of Hollywood did that.
Was Liberace? Did he ever have a fake marriage? Liberace?
No, but he always pretended he was going to be dating women. It was all a running gag.
Right. And they kept Charles Nelson Riley and Paul Lynde. They kept.
Yes.
They were in the closet.
But they were some of the funniest people were the gay guys. They were really funny.
They were real funny though. I mean, quick-witted. I mean, Paul Lynde. Paul Lynde was hilarious.
He was my favorite when I was a kid. He was the funniest.
He was on Hollywood Squares.
He was on the Munsters. He was on I Dream of Jeannie. He was all over the place.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Brady. He was the boy toy for Florence Henderson. Yeah.
Wow.
Ex-lover paid a lot of money.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then so I was surprised that Vincent Price was light in his loafers.
I wasn't all that shocked when I heard it because I love Vincent Price. I thought he was an excellent actor, and didn't get enough great roles. I think he deserved more than he got.
Listen, you know who I think was gay too? Because the reason why is because Bela Lugosi used to call him a cocksucker. Boris Karloff.
I don't think so. He had women.
Maybe he just didn't like Boris Karloff.
No, they were definitely rivals because the mistake Bella made was he turned on the role of Frankenstein. He said he was too dignified to put the makeup on, and that kind of made his career trajectory go different. So he
Well,
was mad when he was jealous when Karloff had success with Frankenstein.
he was typecast really quick.
Yes, and then
Right.
the director of Dracula when he got shamed and blackballed when he did that show Freaks. Yeah, see, Elizabeth Montgomery was also beautiful.
Oh, when she was young,
Agnes Moorehead was a known homosexual.
you know, um, Elizabeth Montgomery did a Twilight Zone episode when she was young, and she was very, what happened? She was a very beautiful girl. She really was. Um, he'll be back. He has an iPhone, and there's an issue with using an iPhone with live streaming. You notice that Elizabeth, I know I Dream of Jeannie had like an evil sister with black hair. Remember that? Barbara Eden played two roles, dual roles. I wonder. Hmm, he probably got booted off, but usually he comes back by now. It's good to have very knowledgeable people on the second half of the show. Red Pill Man Cave.
I just got booted. Hi. Hopefully that's one and done, not one and many to come.
Hello. Good.
Yes.
Thank God.
Elizabeth Montgomery was quite attractive in that
Yeah,
Twilight
the
Zone
Twilight
episode.
Zone episode. The
She's a beautiful woman that unfortunately didn't take care of her health, was in denial about it, and never really saw the doctors.
yeah, she didn't do.
Lizzie Borden, that was a great role. That was a great role for her after
She,
Bewitched.
Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks when
Before she knew what she'd done, she gave her father 41.
41. 41. She was from Massachusetts, New England. Yeah. Yes. Quahogs. She was eating too many quahogs.
Yeah, she died an undignified death with a disease she could have had treated and refused. She was in Elizabeth Montgomery was in denial. It was really sad.
And also Joan Collins, a young Joan Collins, when she played
Oh,
Edith Keeler on the Star Trek episode, she was
ooh, I remember when Yvonne Craig was on Star Trek, the hottest green babe in the world. God,
Joan,
she was
Collins.
at Batgirl. Yvonne Craig was another quite attractive actress.
Oh yeah, what a body on her.
Oh God, Joan Collins, she was beautiful. She was on Batman too. Remember that?
You know the um, the producers of Batman, they got a lot of heat for Robin's outfit. It was too tight, and
Yeah, yeah.
and his bulge was always showing, and because it was too tight.
They had some very attractive women on Batman, luckily.
He had like little speedos on top of a leotard.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, yeah, they did have a lot. They had guest villains.
Yeah, that was the people wanted to be on that show.
Jethro. Oh, you mean Donna Douglas, Ellie Mae Clampett, Donna Douglas. That's right.
Yeah, I
Donna
would like to
Douglas.
seen her
She
any.
had
Yeah, she was quite attractive.
some body. You remember Donna Douglas's body, like hourglass
Yeah,
figure?
I remember the Petticoat Junction.
But oh, Jethro Max Baer, that's the son of the famous heavyweight fighter Max Baer Sr.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, Jethro's Max Baer Jr.
He's like getting up there in age,
Yeah, he's alive. You know
but
who
he's
looks
quite.
very well. You know who looks very frail, and I feel real bad. I hope he's not sick. He's very frail. Is Clint Eastwood?
Well, he's 97, so I wouldn't be surprised. He's quite advanced in age.
He's in his late 90s.
Yes,
Clint?
something
Oh,
like that.
he's so
Early to mid 90s,
wow.
and he
So
hasn't been seen in public in a while, they said. So,
yeah, because
unfortunately, yeah.
he doesn't want to be seen in public. He's
Yes.
it comes a point in time where you don't go on talk shows as a special guest anymore because you're self-conscious. But
Yes,
his
exactly.
arms are like spaghetti.
Well,
He's
he's very aged. He's very aged.
but he was sharp as a tack, mentally sharp as a.
Oh,
He wasn't showing any no stuttering or stammering in his speech. Very clear, very quick. He
some
was
people are lucky.
he was talking like you and I. And you know who else is who looks pretty good for his age is Dick Van Dyke.
He's incredible that doing so well.
He's very politically involved. He's very progressive.
And same with Jimmy Carter. So we got Jeff. His mind is wandering
Okay,
freely.
I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you an interesting story. Okay, you haven't mentioned F Troop yet, but I have an F Troop story.
With Larry Storch, I didn't see much F Troop. They did have an attractive woman in that as well, right?
Yeah, Wrangler Jane.
Yeah, and
Well,
Larry finally passed away recently. But go ahead with your
let
F
me
Troop.
tell you about Wrangler Jane. Wrangler Jane lied like she lied about her age. She was underage when she
The
did
actress, you mean?
when the actress that played Wrangler Jane on F Troop, she lied about her age. She was a minor. And like Tracy Lords in
Yes.
lied about her age. Okay, now Sergeant O'Rourke, not Corporal, not Larry Storch, Corporal Agar, but Sergeant O'Rourke, Forrest Tucker, I think his name.
Forrest Tucker.
Well, he tucked his Tucker, he tucked his fucker in the underage Wrangler Jane.
Ooh.
He used to expose his schlong in the back and somewhere on the studio set. He used to pull his pants down and expose his schlong and sexually harass the underage Wrangler Jane.
She didn't say anything because she was underage.
That she didn't want to lose. I guess she didn't want to lose the part. She's making money.
Yeah.
She didn't say anything, but she was underage, and I don't know if the Jackie Coogan law was in effect. Because Uncle Fester from the
He had
Adams.
his money. He was in our gang, wasn't he?
That was Jackie Cooper.
Okay.
Jackie Coogan, the bald-headed Uncle Fester, his parents stole all the money he made
When he was a kid, yeah.
Child actor, and that's why they called it the Jackie Coogan law. So in other words, all of a child actor's money has to go into a bank account, a fund,
Until they're 18.
uh, until they're 18 years old. And Jeff would know a lot about arranging something like that. Um, oh, she was hot. She
You know
was
the
super hot.
that
That German secretary, that was Colonel Klink's secretary.
yeah, but Crane was he was a switch hitter in real life, so
He
that was
he
before AIDS,
he was a pervert, and he used to
bisexual,
he used to attend many wild Hollywood parties. But that
orgies. Yeah,
German girl was super duper hot. The secretary.
yeah.
That,
Jane Hathaway on the Beverly Hillbillies was a lesbian in real life.
oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about
Lillian Munster, yeah, she was a beautiful
Yvonne
actress.
Yvonne De Carlo.
Oh, beautiful.
Yvonne
So was
Carlo.
Marilyn. Her and Marilyn were quite attractive.
Yeah, Pat Priest. Yeah. Uh,
There
uh,
used to be a little song about the Beverly Hillbillies. How did it go? Listen to a story about a man named Jed. Took Ellie Mae and threw her on the bed. Pulled out his worm, and out from the worm came a bubbling sperm. Semen, that is.
you know, uh, you know,
Learned that in grade school. That one.
the original Marilyn
She
from
quit right away. She didn't like it.
no, she loved it. Her
She
her
got
her
fired.
her fiance was nagging her to move back to whatever Minnesota or Wisconsin, where she's from. He don't want to move to Southern California, and she was on a hit show, so she chose him over the series. How stupid was that?
Did you think she was prettier than Pat Priest?
Yeah, the first one. I'm trying to remember her name, man. The original Marilyn. Yeah, gave up her career and her spot
To be a
on
housewife?
a syndicated TV comedy. You believe that? I mean, what are the odds of an actor or actress landing a spot on a hit TV show, and just because her boyfriend or fiance didn't want to move to Southern California and be with his fiance, his girlfriend, whatever, didn't want to be with Marilyn, want was selfish enough to say you have to move back home and leave the job, your acting job on the Munsters. You believe that prick?
What an idiot.
And she is just as stupid for complying.
Agreeing to it. Exactly. Exactly. Wow.
A bubbling
I, th-
sponge.
I think I see a bit of a theme here, Jeff, with a MILF obsession.
MILF.
This guy likes all the mothers on these shows.
He might have. I know he has an obsession with gingers. Uh, Not Ginger on. Well, maybe Ginger on Gilligan's Island.
Oh, I love Ginger and Marianne.
Yeah, I like Dawn Wells of Marianne. Was a former Miss Nevada.
She's gone too now. She left us.
She died of COVID-19.
Shucks.
May her rest in peace. It's really a shame. And Ginger.
Tina Louise is still alive, isn't she?
Tina Louise is in New York. She's still alive.
Got to be like 85 or something.
But she was not friendly with the cast members. She was a loner. She stood away from everybody because she was ashamed of being on Gilligan's Island. I think she just took the part just to have a part on television. She was too good for everybody else on Gilligan's Island.
Wow.
That's a true story.
That's too bad. And remember, I think we touched on the late Carol Wayne, another beautiful woman murdered.
Yeah, that was on the Tonight Show.
She was beautiful.
She was on Johnny Carson all the time. John Boy, talk about the most boring
That show was boring as hell.
Boring series that
And the Waltons.
I couldn't tolerate any amount of time watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she used to show her belly too, like Barbara Eden, Jeannie. She used to show.
Oh, beautiful.
She used to. I loved the when they showed her belly.
Who was the neighbor? I'm trying to think of a neighbor. No, the neighbor in Bewitched. What was that? Larry or something? He was funny. That he was a character
Oh,
actor.
it
That
was uh, I know what Dick Sargent was the second Darren.
yeah.
The
The
first
first Darren was the best one, and then Dick York, he injured his back,
York.
and he was really messed up. And then
Dick York had a bad injury. Dick York was the one with the black hair. He was
yeah,
much funnier Darren than the second
yeah,
Darren.
it was not. He was in what was Wilbur, the talking horse. He
Really?
came from that show. Mr. Ed. The guy that played Dick York was on Mr. Ed before Bewitched.
Now, I want to say something about this comment. With all his fucking money, Richard Thomas couldn't remove that ugly, disgusting mole on his face, just like Barbara Streisand, with all her money, couldn't get a nose.
Getting her nose fixed. Well, he didn't get it fixed. He thought he was kind of proud of it, I think. And then he finally got it removed.
Fuck him. Oh yeah, his big ears.
Yeah, the show was never the same without him. It was bad. Dick Sargent was not as good of an actor.
Horrible.
Yeah, it was kind of sad. They had great Dr. Bombay. Was he the one that was on Bewitched?
Dr. Bombay.
Bombay. He was funny, and then Paul Lynde was so funny. Paul Lynde was funny on the Munsters. Do you remember when he was a doctor with nearsightedness? He had Herman's hand. He goes, "Oh, you have to keep your pet outside." That was some funny stuff, man. Oh God, Fred Gwynn. The Munsters only ran 3 years, I think, or 2, and it still was a very memorable show.
Listen, remember when Hoyman? Well, that's how Grandpa talked. Al Lewis. Hoyman.
Yeah.
Remember when Hoyman? He was from Brooklyn. Hoyman, when he used to get up in the morning and get ready for work at Gateman and Graves Funeral Home. They used to pick him up in a hearse where
and he'd lie in the back.
He would lie in the back. Before he left, Herman would look in the mirror and say, "You handsome devil!"
And it would crack,
and the mirror would crack.
Do you remember when he was working construction? He had some funny outfits.
Yeah, you know who ended up being practically broke. They were taken advantage of by the studio. The Three Stooges, the poor guys.
Yeah, they got screwed over. They had some really good material. That family was so talented. Moe, Curly, and Shemp, all brothers.
Yeah, they were all brothers.
They had another brother that played the straight part. I forget his name.
Moses Horowitz. It was Shemp. He had another name, of course, and then Jerome was Curly.
Yes, and then who was the fourth brother? Do you remember? He wasn't funny looking, and he didn't do comedy.
There was only three. There was Moses was Mo. There's Mo, Shemp, and Curly. They were brothers. The other one, Larry Feinberg.
Yeah, was not a brother. That was a family friend, wasn't he?
No, he was a vaudeville violinist.
He was awesome.
Yeah, they were all vaudevillians originally. They were screwed over by Jack Healy, which wasn't his real name. But a lot of people. I've noticed a lot of people in all forms of entertainment were abused or screwed over in one way or another by whatever, managers, promoters, producers. I mean, it could be sports, could be acting, entertainment. Now, thank God they have the Screen Actors Guild, and the one for radio is AFTRA, right?
Yeah, I
Bear with me. Uh, uh, okay. All right. Let me. Yes, I do remember the Ghost of Mrs. Muir. Yes.
sorry, I was looking up the Three Stooges, and you're right. There was only three brothers. I think I was thinking of the Marx Brothers. My apologies,
I
and I'm
remember.
sorry I closed off
Well,
there
that
on
was a big
accident.
family. That was a big family too.
The
The
Marx
Ghost.
Brothers,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
There was.
They did have a fourth brother that was a straight guy.
Yeah, there was Groucho, Harpo, Chico, Zeppo,
Zeppo,
and
yes.
I'm not done yet. And Gummo. There was a Gummo Marx,
Was Gummo a boy or a girl?
a male. But
Okay, gotcha.
they were all the Marx brothers, but they weren't all primary comedians on the in the movies. They were,
Sure, sure.
yeah. Um,
So
I wonder why the writers always kept that beautiful actress celibate on that show. Such a shame that that widow did not have a lover. Uh, yeah, you know that, and Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball slept in separate beds when they had the bedroom scene back then.
so did Dick Van Dyke.
And Mary Tyler Moore was his wife, and she was real pretty too when she
Oh, she was beautiful.
uh, uh, yeah, Mary Tyler Moore played the wife to Dick Van Dyke, but they all had separate beds. Jeff, they all had separate beds. Uh, was the ghost and the visceral lover of Muir, that she would play with herself too.
Possibly,
So
possibly.
a visceral lover is like if a spirit talks dirty to the woman and she dildos herself.
A dill, a dildo, dill.
Yeah, you can make a lot of funny songs with dirty. Hold on. Do a do. Oh, hold on.
Merrily, merrily me, how we go.
I remember how funny it was that Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore had separate beds. So whose bed did they make love in to procreate their son Richie?
Oh, he was adopted. Just kidding.
Is that where Sweet Pea came from on the Popeye cartoons?
I tell you, the Munsters, I don't remember them having separate beds. They shot them in bed together. Do you remember that? Yes.
Wow.
Fred and Lily were shot in bed. Of course, it was nothing sexual that, he'd have a night coat on or whatever with the hat. Yeah, they were a little more risque because I said monsters don't have sex. Oh, God,
Yeah,
television.
because he was put together by mad scientists. He was stitched.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Richie was just like Sweet Pea. They never. Skinny Olive Oil couldn't give birth to a baby.
Oh, God.
Mick,
That movie was really a bomb. The one you saw it, right? It was a
no comes.
Ro- Ro- yeah. Robin Williams shouldn't have taken that role. It was not a very good movie.
Well,
Popeye.
well, he never wanted to talk about it. Like anytime somebody would bring it up, he would change the subject. Yeah, but it was the stupidest musical, but the most enjoyable. I enjoyed it.
I tell you, I don't know which was worse, that or The Wiz. I think The Wiz was probably worse. The Wiz reminded me of Taking a Wiz.
Yeah. That's
was
where
a
I got.
pile
That's
of
where I got
manure.
the name for the food group. Everything is food. That was the song on the Popeye musical.
Nice.
Everything is food, food, food. You can look it up on YouTube. Yeah, that's where I got it from.
Nice. Very
Mork
nice.
and Mindy. Did Robin Williams ever make it with Mindy?
I think Mork porked Mindy.
Mork from Dork. No, wait a minute. Mork
Mork
from Ork, right?
dorked Mindy with his pork.
Wait a minute. The planet was Ork, right?
Yes, Mork from Ork.
Ork stuck his pork Mindy. Oh, there you go.
Yes, sir. You know, that actress was murdered on that. After that, there was a show that that actress did, and that actress was murdered by a stalker. Do you remember that?
Oh, the one that played Mindy?
Yeah. No, Mindy's. Oh, no, hold on. Sorry. The girl, there was some show after Mork and Mindy that the actress that played Mindy was in, and she had a sister, and the sister was stalked and murdered. It was really sad.
Yeah, Pan Dorber was the actress who played Mindy.
Yeah, she did
Pamela
not get
Dorber.
injured. It was the young girl that played her younger sister in this. I don't even remember the name of the movie. I don't know about you. Do you remember getting hooked on a TV show when you're young and the next thing you know it's canceled? That happened to me all the time in the 70s. There was a lot of stuff. Yes,
Well,
Mork porked Mindy. Just like that.
Mork got the
Mork from
pork.
Ork porked Mindy with his dork. Or dorked Mindy with his pork.
Mork,
Something like that.
Mork the dork from Ork gave Mindy the pork. Yeah, she was a very
She was very
pleasant.
attractive.
She was a very pleasant
Hey,
girl.
speaking of gingers, do you remember that ginger on Happy Days? Oh
Cotton
God,
Mouth.
no, the female, the one that Fonzie's love interest. She was a daredevil too,
Oh,
and then they brought
Leather Tuscadero.
no the redhead. There was a redhead that was for Fonzie, and then it was Leather for Richie. God, what was that? The redhead stage name. She was a daredevil that
You know,
Fonzie hooked
you know
up
what?
with.
You know what? Arthur Fonzarelli's office was the men's room.
Yes,
He
that's
used
where
to
all the
call
dicks
meetings.
hung out.
He used to call meetings, and you know, the original owner of Arnold's was Pat Morita, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, he was really good. He
He
was
was,
funny.
and then the guy from The Odd Couple with the big nose, Al
Yes.
Molinaro, he bought Arnold's.
I'm trying to look up what the character's name was on Happy Days. It was Leather Tuscatero and
Hey, Monday, happy days.
yeah,
Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. We're gonna rock around the cock tonight. Rock, she's gonna rock around our cock tonight. Da, 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 da.
hold on, Redhead. Let me try that.
1
Redhead.
o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, cock. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, cock. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, cock. She's gonna rock around our cocks tonight. Da, 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 da. Pinky. There was a
Yeah, that was Pinky. Yes.
Pinky
Pinky,
Tuscadero.
Tuscatero, and Leather. Yes, Pinky was the redhead that Fonzie was with. Jeff, we had a redhead for you there.
Yeah,
Another ginger.
that supposedly took place in Milwaukee, and just like Laverne and
70s
Shirley,
show, 70s show.
Laverne and
Unfortunately, both Laverne and Shirley are deceased. Cindy Williams
yeah,
passed
Cindy
away
Williams,
recently. She was
and
so pretty.
right, and the other one,
Laverne died before her. It's so sad.
Laverne played the secretary of Oscar Madison on The Odd Couple, but
Oh, I did not.
they were spin-off of Happy Days, but it was based in Milwaukee. But
I always thought the Odd Couple had homophobic overlays. That Tony, the actor himself,
Tony Rand.
he ended up having a kid, but I always thought he had kind of a gay sensibility in that show. The character did. I don't know if the guy himself was bi or something, but that's what I kind of got from The
He
Odd Couple.
acted.
Yes.
He acted not extremely gay like Paul Lynde, but he
He
acted
acted somewhat. He was
somewhat.
upset by manly things. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the cigar smoke. Oh no, you're going to ruin my kitchen. He was very effeminate.
Oscar Madison was more like an alpha man.
Yeah,
Alpha male.
slob.
Other than Fonzie's girlfriend, Mrs. C was the only other person allowed in Fonzie's apartment upstairs from the Cunningham's garage. Oh, that's right, his apartment. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he was busy plowing her back 40 up there.
And he was a mechanic also.
Sure.
Arthur Fonzarelli was a mechanic. Now, did you know that Henry Winkler
couldn't ride a motorcycle?
No, Henry Winkler. I think their debuts, Henry Winkler and Sylvester Stallone.
Lords of Flatbush.
Lords of Flatbush. Yes, they made their debut in that. They were in that movie. The Lords of Flatbush. They had the leather jackets.
Yes. That was a good movie.
Now, Jeff might know about the Lords of Flatbush.
It was I saw it. It was a greaser movie similar to Fonzie and such.
Yeah, Sly Stallone and Henry Winkler. This was before Happy Days, and also Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. That was Fonzie's. It was his rival was Vinny Barbarino.
Vinny Barbarino, John Travolta. That Saturday Night Fever was around the time of Welcome Back, Kotter, and
didn't he leave that to go to do movies? Didn't he leave Welcome Back, Kotter? Yeah.
Yeah, the movie came out around the time John Travolta was Vinny Barbarino. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, a couple of the actors from that show have passed away. Yeah, Triumph Motorcycles. I heard that Arthur, the actor Henry Winkler couldn't ride a motorcycle in real life.
It's very possible.
Yeah, and
are they British? Triumph?
Yes, they are. Horseshack's deceased. Ron something. He was married to a man. And then who's the guy that played Epstein? Is he still alive?
Yeah, he said, well, I don't know. He said he was half Hungarian and half Puerto Rican.
Yeah, the character. And then Washington, that actor still alive?
The guy with the afro, the basketball player.
Yeah.
Right? And then there was Robin Givens, who married Mike Tyson later on.
She was on Welcome Back, Kotter?
Yeah, she was one of the students.
Okay, gotcha. She didn't have that many lines in it, though, did she?
No, but she's pretty good looking.
Yeah, very good looking.
And then there was
just not very good acting in real life.
There was her. Vinny Barbarino was like the player, the ladies' man.
Up your nose with a rubber hose. Yeah, that was some good stuff. And then Fonzie had Sid on it. That Jewish Puerto Rican, exactly.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake, Jeff. It was Freddie Prinze is half Puerto Rican and half Hungarian.
In real life, yes.
Epstein is half Jewish, half Puerto Rican. You're right.
Yeah, the character actor.
Yeah, Freddie Prinze was Freddie Prinze Jr. got involved with pro wrestling, like as a writer, one of the writers. He's still involved in pro wrestling, promoter, writer. But anyway, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Epstein's was half Jewish, half Puerto Rican.
I was emptying the dehumidifier, so I didn't want the big water gush to come on the air.
Oh, that's because you're in a subterranean apartment.
I've got it's a townhome. It's 3 stories with a finished basement.
You know, a lot of the new air conditioners, they have dehumidifying abilities aside from.
Oh, mine's an oldie but a goodie.
being an air conditioner. But I know I did say something earlier that having one very high, powerful BTU air conditioner uses less electricity than having like two or three 5,000, 6,000 BTUs throughout the house. You know, it's actually more efficient to have one, like me. I have one 12,000 BTU air conditioner. It cools the place off faster and it uses it's energy efficient compared to having a bunch of little ones. Oh, she was flat chested. Yeah, you know who was annoying? Barney Miller's wife. I don't know. She just annoyed the crap out of me. Oh, oh, you muted yourself.
Yes, I was in the loo for a moment. One thing that upset me in Hill Street Blues is when the actor, I forget his name, Ken something, I think, and he died of cancer. He was a former football player. He was on All in the Family. Do you remember? He played the sergeant. Gosh, I can't remember. Died of cancer. It was really
All in the
sad.
family.
No, he was on Hill Street Blues. Um, the actor, and he ended up with cancer.
Okay, I had one. I inducted the Walton family of Walmart into the Chiselers Hall of Shame, but there's one more person that needs to get inducted into the Chiselers Hall of Shame, and that person is Tom Selleck of doing the reverse mortgage commercials.
Oh, fuck that noise.
Reverse mortgage commercials, Jeff and Mick turned out to be a scam. Meanwhile, Tom
They're
Selleck
bad.
is telling everybody, "You could trust me. I wouldn't recommend anything that was anything that was going to take your homes away from you." You know, and
Yeah, it would. That's what a reverse mortgage is about. Stealing homes. Yeah, that's about stealing homes.
oh yeah, yeah, that girl, yeah, she was cute, but she was a tomboy, right? Some girl on Welcome Back Hard. Now, have you heard anything negative about reverse mortgages, Jeff? Because
Reverse mortgages is how the banks steal homes from people. When they die, the home goes to the bank.
meanwhile, Tom Selleck is saying, "Don't worry, you can feel at ease with getting a reverse mortgage."
Yeah, I am worried
No, they just paid him very well to do the commercials.
to rip people off. Yeah,
That's
fuck
horrible.
that noise. It is horrible.
You know, you get all these big fans of Tom Selleck that have homes that probably went ahead and got one.
Yeah, reverse mortgage is when you die, the bank gets your home, not your family.
Jeez,
Yeah, it's bad.
it's really bad.
So, what a walk down memory lane of television sitcoms.
We had a walk down
Memory lane.
memory lane, mammary lane. We did a little mammary lane,
Yes, we did.
did memory lane, and we did a little sports talk, and we did a little pro wrestling talk.
We've covered some good topics.
Oh yeah, it was, and the topics I did at the beginning, the articles, the serious part was great. This was an outstanding show. Um,
With minimal technical difficulties. One of them was my own fault. I do apologize.
Knock on wood. Alex, the beer master, where are you? I thought you were going to come on the show. He's probably on some liquor show now.
Yeah, William Devane, he's hawked his soul for commercials, just like
Investing in gold, huh?
Yeah.
But you know, they're doing commercials.
Who's the one that's doing the Lincoln commercials? That younger actor.
Yeah, she's desperate to do Tampax tampons, but she's kind of like a chubby slut, redhead. She has very big breasts. So she's a redhead. She's a ginger, yes. She might be related to Senator Chuck Schumer, I think, and she's kind of a risque, potty mouth stand-up comic, and yeah, you know, but still, doing the tampons, Tampax tampons, is not as bad as Tom Selleck telling people you can feel at ease getting a reverse mortgage.
Matthew McConaughey sold his soul selling Lincolns.
Oh
And
yeah,
these people are for sale. They're all for sale. They'll sell their souls just to get a buck and do commercials.
Yeah, that's really no dignity, no more dignity. I mean, there are some actors and actresses who flat out refuse to accept the role in the movie.
Yes, the commercials. They
You know,
won't do it.
they have dignity, but they also have big bucks. They're also famous. You know,
Hmm.
uh, Amy Schumer, she's potty mouth. She's a ginger. She likes to talk about sex. She's the niece of Chuck Schumer in real life. So that's it, Uncle Chuck. Amy Schumer.
Nice.
Amy Schumer's Uncle Chuck is Chuck Schumer. Yeah,
Nice.
he likes to wear his glasses all the way down to the end of his proboscis.
Well, I got to start making Sunday dinner soon.
And I am going to start ordering a heaping helping because I had nothing to eat earlier today. A heaping helping of Chinese takeout food to be delivered,
Excellent. Make them do it this time.
or should I say, to be derivered? Derivered.
Oh, there you go. All right then.
Derivered. Hey, what happened? I Somebody told me they were going to come by, and they didn't come by.
Well, fuck them. They
They
ain't
didn't
coming
come
on. They're
on.
not coming.
They didn't
Yeah,
come on down.
that's okay. We had more for us.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sign off. My stomach's telling me to,
My stomach is growling.
and I have to growl back. All right,
But
buddy. It's been a
I
good
know it's
show.
gonna
We're on.
happen. I'm gonna order a heap and helping of. I know I'm
Good.
gonna order a lot of Chinese food.
Good for you, bro. Eat
Ooh,
heartily. Eat heartily, me mate.
all right, little. I'll do a little dating game before we say goodbye. Yeah, right. Yeah, she does have a nice ass crack. You're right.
The
Okay.
only show to have a serial killer on it, the dating game.
Oh yeah, and you know,
Yeah, yeah.
there used to be a show similar to Jerry Springer called the Jenny Jones Show out of Chicago,
Yes.
and somebody she did a secret admirer, type of
Oh
show.
yeah, and then it was a guy, and they killed the guy because he was gay. It was a.
Yeah, it was a
If you
gay
have to kill a
secret.
homosexual, you yourself probably are homosexual and hate yourself.
It was a gay
A
secret
gay
among them.
crush, yeah,
It
yeah, it
was,
was bad.
she kept it a secret, and she felt that was the end of the show. She felt very guilty.
Well, yeah, she shouldn't have done it. It was a bad maneuver.
Yeah,
Bad maneuver.
I got to get the boatswain's whistle. I got to pipe the show out onto the plunk. Everyone must walk the plunk because this is the end of the show. Arr!
Hi, matey.
Sally, Jessica, Raphael. Oh, with
Jesse Raphael. That was her show.
those huge red glasses.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought it was Jenny Jones. It was. It was.
All right,
Sally.
James. Cheers, buddy. Cheers. Good to see you on the air again.
Yes, it was invigorating, and I am happy that your iPhone was behaving this week.
And I was happy that Streamline was behaving for the most part, except
StreamYard.
once.
Yeah, because
Yes.
if worst come to worst, if YouTube was going to continue to bust my balls, I was going to ask you if you wanted to go live with me on Instagram,
Gotcha.
because I could share that and download it and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's no issue. I don't think there's an issue between an iPhone and Instagram.
All right. Off
You
to
know.
yummy, yummy land.
Yeah,
Good night.
I'm hungry, man. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining for joining us. Thanks to everyone for joining Progressive Discussions and Red Pill Man Cave. Until next time, God willing, I'll see everybody. Have a pleasant Sunday evening and the next week, which is the last week of the merry month of May. This has to be the coldest spring I have ever experienced. The coldest and the driest spring. Think about that. Bye-bye.